Welcome to Feed the Blender.
Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Feed the Blender. We're here on Wednesday night, December 14th. A lot has happened in the last week in basketball. Tell you what, I'm excited tonight. Seton Hall's beating the crap out of Drexel 53-34 as we speak, so we'll take that. Really want to jump in right away. Start with Phoenix. They've dropped from the number 1 seed overall to the 4th seed. They've lost 6 of 7 here. Booker's out with a hamstring injury. CP3 is not looking like his old self. He's shooting just under 30% from three. They're 16-12 right now, and like I said, 4th in the West, and they just look a little rocky. But to come help me talk about them, I brought in our resident expert of the Phoenix Suns, Double D. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. The Suns don't play tonight, so it's a good day right now.
Where do you think they are? Tell me what your state of mind are. Is the alarm bells, are they all ringing right now, or how you feeling?
No, not really. We're injured. So,
Right.
I mean, everyone goes through it, but we don't have Jay Crowder's been out all season. He don't want to play for us. Cam Johnson's been out. Chris Paul just came back 2 games ago. Now D Book's out. So, I don't know. I think we definitely need to make some moves tomorrow. The 15th tomorrow. So I'm ready for Jay Crowder to get on out of here. But I think we're all right. I think once we start winning games again, no one will start talking about us again.
What pieces do you think Phoenix needs to bring in to help turn things around?
I really like Eric Gordon. I think
Ooh,
that'd be a great like vet to come off the bench behind Booker. And
that's an
then
interesting name.
yeah, if he needs to play a little more minutes, he can do it. I think he averages like 30 minutes right now for Houston. So like if Chris Paul needs a rest or Book's out, like Eric Gordon, he's still a good NBA player. So
Yeah.
if we can get him for Jay Crowder, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. I haven't actually heard that name, but I could see that working, like off the bench kind of guy, like six man,
Yeah.
but closing games because he's such a
Mhm.
deep ball threat. He would space so well in that offense, and
Mhm.
they do need deep threats. Obviously,
Yeah.
Cam Johnson was going to come in this year and fill that role. I think he was averaging like 45% or something from three, like before
Yeah.
he went out.
Mhm.
So they've been really missing that, and obviously Jay Crowder is a career 36% guy. So yeah, they're really missing that outside stroke. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
think we'll be all right.
yeah, I think so too. Just Monty Williams' offense is kind of self sufficient, so I'm
Very
not too worried
sufficient.
about them.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, anything else you want to say on Phoenix?
No, I mean, I hope we make some trades. That's about it. Same team for the last 2 years that hasn't got done. So we gotta do something if we want to make a push.
Durant's not still in the waters, is it?
I mean, the Nets are playing decent now,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I don't know.
they're over 500.
Yeah, he might be happy, but if he wants to get traded, I'd give away Mikal Bridges for Kevin Durant.
Woo. Yeah, you would have to for sure, and a boatload of picks.
Yeah, you can't say no to KD.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, I you and I watched that New Orleans game
Oh yeah.
uh that Zion ended the game with the 360 windmill.
Yep.
I wanna I you were like immediately that's super disrespectful.
Yeah.
Now that we're a couple days removed and they lost again to New Orleans on
Yep.
Sunday, what are
Uh-huh.
your thoughts on that? Was that like not okay?
I mean, Zion, I feel like how Zion answered the question was like the best way he could.
True.
Like saying it was out of character, but I understand like we did beat them last year in the playoffs. And I mean, they were playing a home game, so like us being the best team in the NBA and then them beating us to become number 1 seed in the West. I feel like he could have his moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
And what do you think about the elbow to Alvarado?
Chris Paul.
I mean,
I'm
that's just some Chris Paul shit, right?
We all know Chris Paul a little dirty, so
Right.
he's wearing a Phoenix jersey, so I'm a fan. But as soon as he takes that thing off, Chris Paul's a dirty player.
True.
Yeah.
I feel that.
But I feel like the Pelicans rivalry, that's going to be a good one for a lot of years to come. I feel like we're both young, a lot of young talent. So I feel like this can be something's brewing right here, and I like it.
Yeah, New Orleans, man. Whew.
And great coach, Willie Green, man. Great coach.
Yeah, he probably will get coach of the year this year.
Oh yeah, if they keep this up, he has to.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see if that matchup happens again in the playoffs, how that plays out. Because
Yeah,
they're
the Pelicans. I feel like they're better when someone's hurt. I don't when it's CJ, Brandon Ingram, and Zion. I just don't know how it gels yet. We haven't seen it that much this season, but I don't know. I feel like they could trade CJ and they would be okay. They could get better if they got rid of CJ.
really.
Yeah, I feel like he's shooting pretty bad from the field. I don't know it off the top of my head, but he's having a really bad season offensively.
Yeah, I feel like when BI comes back, the thinking is CJ as a third option is not a bad one.
No, but I don't think CJ likes to be the third option. I think CJ wants to be number two.
In an interview, he said to BI, like, yo, like, be great. Don't be afraid of being great. I obviously in Portland played that second role to Dame, and I'm like cool with like helping us win. Like,
Okay.
there's something going on here. So I think his mentality is he's the vet in the locker room.
Yeah.
He knows it's his time, or it's not his time. He should let these young guys shine.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, and he's again the third option,
Yeah.
he's minus on defense, but his offense is just so good down the stretch of games that like he's just such a dangerous guy in the playoffs.
That is true. But no matter what, they have to play through Zion. Even when Brandon Ingram comes back. Zion's option number one regardless.
Point Zion.
Yeah, point
It's still
Zion.
fun to watch.
Oh yeah. Different animal for sure.
Yeah, big body, big bed.
You see that dunk he had last night?
Which one?
The two-hander where
off the drive, like
the drive.
He like showed and
Yeah, got hit in the face, bro. He's the only one in the league doing that. That's crazy.
Yeah. That dude's a fucking animal.
For sure.
Another West team I wanted to touch on was Memphis.
Yeah.
Man, they walk the walk, dude. They are so rowdy, so much fun to watch. These guys just ball out. Like they're not scared to play anyone, and they're 18-9, second in the West. Ja Morant's having like an MVP season. He's averaging 27-7.
Yeah.
6 boards. He's shooting 36% from 3. Jaren Jackson's back and healthy. He's looking
8 blocks.
Yeah.
8 blocks.
Yeah. He is Jaren Jackson Jr. when he's on the court, their defense is so dynamic.
Oh yeah, different team.
Yeah. Him and Steven Adams, that's just such a scary power forward center duo to try to drive up against. I mean, their rim protection's of the best in the league.
Phenomenal, yeah. That's what Rudy Gobert and Cat wish they were with Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson.
Yeah. Also, we should note, I said on one of the podcasts that Minnesota could be a 50-win team, and Dakota gave me so much shit, and he's so right.
Get Anthony Edwards out of there.
True.
Free Ant.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even want to go into it. I was dead wrong.
Memphis though.
Memphis.
Early in the season, I thought they really missed Kyle Anderson and Melton, D'Anthony Melton. You felt that bench wasn't there, but they've turned it around pretty quick.
Well, and it's guys like Zaire getting back in the lineup, David Roddy being a huge get in the draft, and then this Santi Aldama guy who's like just this like ball of energy at the power forward off the bench.
Yeah,
it's really they've replaced Kyle Anderson and D'Anthony Melton so well. And I like you said, I thought that was going to be such a such like a downfall for this team because their depth was one of the things that carried them into the playoffs as the 2 seed last year.
For sure.
And obviously with Bane being out, they've needed guys to step up. Clark has been great off the bench still.
Love Brandon Clark.
It is his floater game, man.
Phoenix, they should have drafted him. They had the chance and they didn't.
He's good. Yeah. Other than that, I don't have anything else on the West. We kind of touched on most of the better West teams.
What about Utah?
Utah's starting to slip.
A little bit. They won. They beat the Pelicans by like 20 yesterday.
Yeah, here's the thing on Utah is in the beginning of the season, they just played incredibly hard. Colin Sexton's obviously just intense off the bench.
What was that game? 3 versus 5 in college
for Alabama. Yeah.
Like he's gonna go hard every game.
Yeah, that was a really smart pickup for Utah in the offseason. Obviously coming over with Lauri Markkanen and that Donovan Mitchell trade. Yeah, I mean,
do you think they blow it up? Do you think they get more draft picks since Lauri Markkanen stock's so high? Do you give them up for 2 first-round picks or?
Here's my thing. The NBA is so smart. They catch up so fast that everyone has like the sheet, the scouting report on Utah now. They know what they're gonna do, and Utah's no longer this team that's catching teams off guard. Teams caught on.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be harder to win games down the stretch of the season. So I think they're going to see a lot of L's on the schedule. And yeah, at that point, I mean, you have so many draft picks, you might as well
double up,
shut it down. And
yeah, I would do the same. I would start trading people while their value's high and just
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely get rid of Mike Conley's contract pretty easily.
Mike Conley would be easy to move. I think Jordan Clarkson, you could probably get.
Oh, no question. Jordan Clarkson
You could get a lot. You could get a lot for Jordan Clarkson right now.
He's got a ton of interest in the league.
Yeah, Lauri Markkanen. I bet you, if I was Phoenix, I'd give up. I don't know. I'd give up a lot for Lauri Markkanen right now.
Really? What would you give up for him?
I would give up Cam Johnson. Jay Crowder's contract would have to go. Maybe Landry Shamet and like 2 first-round picks. Him next to Ayton, he could stretch the floor and
and that would be your like 4th or 5th option on offense too, which is kind
of because it would still be Booker, Ayton, Bridges, and then maybe Markkanen. I would do like that.
Drexel has cut it to 13.
Oh no!
40 seconds left in the second half.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah, we got it. Can I get a reach? Yeah, and then I say we talk about the Sixers.
Okay. James
Harden's back. I wanted to read this stretch of games here for Embiid. Had a pretty rough night in Cleveland, 19 points in that game, and then goes on a nice little streak of games here where it's 35, 39, 38, 53, and 31.
Would you take Embiid or Anthony Davis right now?
See, that's tough. I think Embiid.
This season?
Only
this season.
And, okay, again, we have to preface this with, is Anthony Davis, like, healthy? Like, is he?
Yeah, he's
completely healthy.
2022 Anthony Davis.
Completely healthy, not going to get injured. Both not going to get injured.
Yeah.
I'm taking AD because he's got I think he's a better playoff performer. I think the hate on AD is it's sometimes warranted, but it's way overdone. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like he didn't go crazy in his time in New Orleans and in the 2019-2020 season that resulted in a bubble championship. Like, he was that dude.
Yeah. I respect Anthony Davis, but I think when it comes to it, I don't think Anthony Davis can guard Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid can guard Anthony Davis.
That's tough, dude.
Yeah.
I think AD would do fine guarding Joel Embiid.
Ooh, Embiid's a bully, and AD doesn't like to be bullied.
But AD is his feet are so fast that like I'm not worried about him face up. I maybe if Embiid's catching the ball in the low post,
Mhm.
maybe. But he shoots so many mid range and threes at this
I was
point.
gonna say, who's a better 3-point shooter this season?
Probably Embiid.
Okay, yeah, I would think so too.
Higher volume, AD might his
Yeah.
percentage might have gone up in the stretch of games he's had, but he only shoots like one or two a game, so it's not like anything crazy.
Yeah. Do you think Harden and Embiid are the best 1-2 combo in the league right now?
Sort of looked that way
Yeah,
the year last year.
I think Tatum and Brown would be up there.
Yeah, yeah. And when Middleton's healthy, I think Middleton and Giannis.
I was about to say, yeah, Middleton came back yesterday. He had a good game.
Yeah, I didn't. We watched that Milwaukee.
Overtime. Yeah, overtime against the Lakers.
No, that was the game before that. They played last night against Golden State, and
Oh yeah, yeah. They played
yeah,
Golden State.
Golden State. Yeah,
Destroyed them. Oh, I won money on that game. I had Milwaukee -3.5. And then after the first quarter, I was like, oh, I'm winning this bet.
yeah. I mean, Milwaukee's so good, and
Oh yeah.
Giannis. Who's your MVP so far? Because it's got to be like Giannis, Ja, or Luca, right? Like one of those three.
I can't give it to Luca. I don't what are they right now? The eighth seed?
Yeah, they're not that good. Get that shit.
Yeah. So I think team success is a big part of MVP. So
Yeah.
I would probably give it to Giannis
Or
at this
Tatum.
point.
Tatum also is pretty deserving.
Yeah, Tatum would be up there. Man, Zion, his last, I think, 8 games, he's averaging like 29 and 8 or something.
Yeah,
He's turning it on. It's going to be exciting. I think this is the best season of basketball, like 20 games in we've had in a while. It's
I'd agree with
it's
that.
been fun. Yeah, it's been
There's
fun.
no in the West, at least. There's no real like out like number one
No,
team.
no, it's close.
Yeah, it's close.
I think the first seed to the eighth seed is only like 3.5 games.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
What about the Clips? Kawhi and PG coming back?
Yeah, you can't.
Shit out of Boston with those boys. Like
Yeah,
the
you can't
PG,
deny it. On paper, they might be the most talented team,
they for sure the deepest team
the deepest team. Yeah, like
for sure.
so. eh,
Boston, man. Boston's talent is nuts.
Boston's talent is crazy, and they're doing it without a center. They got Blake Griffin starting center in 2023.
Dude,
That's crazy.
it's so weird to watch him play nowadays.
Yo, did you see that dunk he almost had on Zubac?
Yeah.
Turn back the clock a little bit with that one.
He's and it's so funny because he's just so slow now at this
Oh
point.
yeah. Oh,
And he can't beat anyone off the dribble. So he's become like almost like a Draymond Green. Like he just doesn't shoot threes. He'll only like do like backdoor cuts to the basket. Like that's his only means of scoring. He's really just there to set screens and pass the ball.
good. Hey, stay in the league. You gotta elevate with the game.
True.
You think Boston's the best team in the East?
See, it's tough because
Yeah, Milwaukee. Ooh,
yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Milwaukee beat Boston earlier in the year.
yeah, they did.
Um, yeah, I gotta say I'm a believer of if Middleton doesn't get hurt last year, we beat Boston.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Giannis
I don't
alone,
see no one in the East beating Milwaukee healthy
no,
in a long time. Like there's it's so hard to guard Giannis, and you want to talk third options. Drew Holiday's an amazing third option. Might be the best third option in the league.
and Brooke Lopez is having like a defensive player of the year kind of year.
It feels like every year he gets older, he gets a little better.
Yeah,
It's annoying because he'll just you never stop hearing about Brooke Lopez. It's crazy.
I think he had Kevon Looney matched up with him, like 12 feet on the block, like away from the basket. Jab steps one time and then just like rises over him, cashes it, and it's just like
His game's so smooth.
he
Yeah.
hits. He's Splash Mountain is for real.
Splash Mountain. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Has anyone stood out to you?
Good team. We can always talk about the trash Lakers. Golly, it's crazy. I don't understand how you have that much talent and you can't win.
Well, they
I
have
don't
some
get it.
outside shooting, dude. It's rough
Yo,
watching.
when they built this team this offseason, I knew it was gonna be bad.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy because they could make a move and just
Yeah.
bring in one shooter. They could probably move Nunn and Beverly and just bring in like someone that's 40% from three.
Will Barton.
Yeah.
Like go get a good shooter, a vet Terrence Ross. He's still
Yeah.
hoops for Orlando, right?
Terrence
Yeah,
Ross. That's one that I could see.
yeah, like go get a vet that can still like get you a bucket.
He might be their biggest contract, right? In Orlando.
They're
I
young. They're young.
it's him. Jonathan Isaac might have a big contract.
He hasn't played an NBA game in 4 years.
Yeah, but he signed like a wild one right
He
before.
did.
Um,
Yo, what about Bol?
yeah, that dude's been balling out, dude.
Yeah,
Balling
bro.
out.
He's so fun to watch.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy because he's so like his game at some point he's kind of like Poku on
Uh-huh.
OKC where he's just kind of like a spaz half the
Oh yeah.
time. And then the
Uh-huh.
other half of the time his game is just like super clean. Like it's just
Yep.
like he's cash. He's like spraying a dude's face off the
He
dribble.
does things and you're like, is that KD? And you're
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah,
no. It's yeah.
yeah. No, I Ball is very fun to watch.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think Terrence Ross might be the highest contract. Do you think Westbrook's value right now is the highest they can get? Does Westbrook's trade value get any higher?
I think he showed the league like he can still be valuable as an
Yeah.
offensive because Rondo gets spots on teams and he's in his later years kind of developed a three, but he's still kind of a non-threat. He's looking to
Yeah,
pass more times than not.
for
And
sure.
Westbrook has shown like if it's in a winning situation, which it's not in LA, but if it's for the betterment of the team, he's willing to take that role off the bench. So yeah, I think his trade value is probably the highest it's been in quite some time. I mean,
Yeah.
looking at there were people, and I'm not saying I believe it, but there were people in the league that were saying this might be the last time we watch Russell Westbrook play professional basketball.
That's crazy.
No, there's
Yeah,
no way.
that's crazy.
Hall of Famer. There's no way.
Oh, first ballot. Don't you don't even gotta think about it.
He's still so athletic and so explosive. There's times where you sit there and watch him and he misses wide open layups and you're kind of like, come on, man. Like this is your bread and butter. But seeing Hall got the dub, 20-point win over Drexel. So
Nice.
they'll take that first conference game coming up on Saturday. Excited to watch that. The New York Knicks are surging right now. They've won four straight here. We talked about Atlanta last week. What about Toronto? Have you been watching Toronto games?
You know, I don't believe in Toronto.
Really?
I mean, they're well coached. Sikkim is a good NBA player, great NBA player.
Yeah, he'll be all NBA.
Fleet, good. They all play defense.
Yeah, they're
They
big. They're big. They're long.
yeah, they're a fun team to watch, but the East, I mean, is so up top is so crazy. Like Milwaukee, Boston, the 76ers, the Nets are turning it around. I think without Nash, they're 15-7 or something. I mean, they're
Yeah.
just gonna keep figuring it out. They're a good playoff team, but they might win a series.
Yeah, Toronto to me is one of those teams, and I said it when we broke them down. They just have so much like young talent and so much on the defensive end that if we're like Milwaukee, if we're going up against them, that's a team I'm actually nervous about because they could potentially guard Giannis well. Scotty Barnes is so good on the defensive end.
I love Scotty Barnes.
It's awesome. And Pascal Siakam is a good matchup on Giannis. Like Toronto seems like they're one of the only teams in the East that are actually built to guard Giannis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Toronto, to me, their ceiling is second round.
Yeah.
Second round, bless you.
Thank you. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
But as of the first 25 games, they certainly have not looked the part of a playoff team. They're in the 9 seed currently. They're 8 games back from first. They're 13 and 14. Fred VanVleet's not having a great year to start it off. Scotty's he's been good. Gary Trent Jr. has been just getting buckets.
He's always been a bucket getter.
He's so good off the bench, and he was on Portland before.
Yep.
Did he get drafted by Portland, or did he play for a different team? I think.
I only remember him in a Portland uniform.
Yeah, he was nice. He was there in 2019, 2020.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Drafted him. But anyways.
You want to know who else is disappointing in the East is the Heat.
That was literally who I was going to say next. Yeah.
Oh.
No, obviously JB's he's been in and out of the lineup as he always is. They're having Kyle Lowry play like 35 minutes a game.
Why do you pay Tyler Hero all that money and still not give him a chance?
Well, he was starting in the beginning of the year.
Well, that was injuries. He still doesn't start, right?
They gave him that starting spot over Strus.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, which is kind of goofy because he's such a minus on the defensive end.
Oh yeah,
it's such like a.
I remember people tried to compare him early on to Devin Booker, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy."
No, he's more like Lou Will to me.
Oh, there you go. Ooh, I like that. I don't think I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, he obviously has a bit better size, but in terms of the game and being able to run the pick and roll, and he's actually a pretty good creator. Like he can.
Oh yeah.
He can dime up that's why his role off the bench is so good in Miami, and they do have guys in that second rotation that are good plus defenders. Obviously, Dedmon's good, Martin's good,
Yep.
But yeah, it's interesting to see because they're obviously sitting there at the 10 seed, 13 and 15, but they put together a couple of wins here, and they could easily move up past Atlanta, New York, and they could be in that 5 or 6 spot.
Atlanta doesn't know how to play defense.
Well, Trey, I mean,
he gets beat up every night.
Yeah. Bogdanovich, too, is not, I'm pretty sure he's a minus defender.
He got to be.
Yeah. They have that Okwangu guy. That dude's a nice rim runner.
Yeah. I love DeJounte Murray. I just don't know. I feel like they have to get rid of John Collins. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't think he's that good.
Yeah.
I think he's just a high flyer, but he seems lost out there sometimes. Like he just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, if they could get a stretch 4 who can play defense alongside Clint Capella,
yeah, I
feel like that would help a Nate McMillan defense out quite a bit.
Hey, go ahead and get Jay Crowder.
Yeah, exactly. Like a 3.5 guy who can guard, anywhere from shooting guard to center, basically.
Uh-huh.
And it would kind of open up a ton of different lineups. Like they could do small ball where he's obviously the 4 or 5 at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, there has been rumors of a John Collins, Jay Crowder trade, but
yeah, I saw that. How do you feel about the Thunder and Shea Alexander?
I was saying last week, I think he's putting on like an MVP type season, but OKC is just not good.
Yeah.
So it's tough to have him in that contention or discussion. So
it would have been fun to see that team healthy.
Yeah, with Chet.
I mean, with Chet, it would have been, because I like Gritty.
Yeah.
I think he's a great player. Shea's great.
Yeah, J-Dub, was Jamal Williams, or the first of the two Jamal Williams they drafted. That dude can ball. Lou Dort's good.
Oh, I love Lou Dort.
Poku's good.
They have a
But
lot of young talent,
yeah, I mean that's OKC's. That's their name of the game here. I mean,
and they have so many draft picks. It's crazy.
yeah, which makes me think, and call me crazy, but they could potentially gear up for a KD reunion in OKC. They have the draft assets to do it. And there's a certain point where they're going to start having to win games here.
Uh-huh.
Gilgeous Alexander being as good as he is. So
I still don't. I don't know if Shea and KD. I don't know if that's a top 5 team in the West.
yeah, but Shea, KD, Chat, and then you would just build around those three guys.
Yeah,
But we also haven't seen how good Chet's going to be.
true.
But I just think he's going to be elite defender. So
Oh yeah, he'll be fine.
alongside those two guys at that point, it's like whatever he does on the offensive side is a bonus, you know.
Oh, let's do last team. You know how I feel about this team, but how do you feel about the Mavericks?
Yeah, it's tough because
Yeah.
I love watching Luka play.
Yep.
I've watched probably at least 10 of their games so far this year, and
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
you and I have probably watched at least 4 or 5 Mavericks games.
Yeah. Yeah. Always on TV.
Yeah, they're always getting the national television spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're defensively they're not great.
Mm-mm.
Luka's usage rate is kind of getting to that point where it's looking like LeBron in Cleveland.
Cleveland LeBron. Yep.
They don't have a ton of outside shooting or guys who can create off the dribble outside of Spencer Dinwiddie and Luka. So it's the offense just at some points it seems stale. It's just Luka dribbling the ball.
Yeah. They missed Jalen Brunson.
They do.
I'm pretty sure didn't Luka miss 2 games in the playoffs and Jalen Brunson was like going crazy.
Crazy. Dropped like 40 in one of them.
Crazy. And they were winning too.
I mean, he is that good. Brunson's that dude.
Oh yeah, Brunson's good, yeah. Yeah, the Mavericks, they need but my thing with Luka is I don't think no other all-star wants to go play with Luka.
It's tough. Yeah, I don't know who would fit well aside.
I don't know how him and Porzingis didn't figure it out. That's if you think about it, that was like the perfect duo. Stretch big,
like pick and pop.
Pick and pop game should have been there.
Well, the problem was they did run the pick and pop. Not only was KP injured most of the time, but in the kick and pop, KP was not hitting threes. Like he was only averaging like 13 points a game.
Yeah.
They were expecting like at least 20.
But he looks better in Washington.
Yeah, he's been a great Kuzma in Washington.
Yo, they came out saying Phoenix is interested in Kuzma. I would give up I would give up a lot.
I guess Washington responded with Kuzma is like an integral part of the core there.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Kuzma would be very valuable in LA, that's for sure.
Oh man, that LA team, they were so young and they gave up on it so fast. But
It's crazy.
They're all successful basketball players. Like I don't know how that team fits. Like, can Julius Randle play with Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Clarkson and all them? I don't know, but it's crazy that every single one of them young Laker core is now a successful NBA player.
Yeah. Yeah, even Lonzo. Just the fact that he's able to hit threes. Unfortunately, he's hurt, but
no, if he wasn't hurt, Lonzo, that Bulls team would be completely different.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get Zach to do a full monologue episode where he just talks about the state of the Bulls because he could do it. I've heard that dude on phone calls just go for it.
I feel bad for DeRozan.
Yeah, true.
Yo, He went to a shitty Spurs team, and then now he's at a shitty Bulls team, and I don't know. It's crazy that the Lakers could have had him, Buddy Hield, and instead they got Westbrook. That's
Yeah, it is unfortunate.
yeah.
But other than that, I think we can close up here. I got a couple trivia questions for the Phoenix Suns expert himself.
Let's hear
Um,
it. How back in history is this? I'm kind of high. How far back am I supposed to be thinking right now?
um, the first question is going to be fairly recent.
Okay, I could get that.
Second question, we'll see.
Okay.
No, but we'll see.
Okay.
Um, with with the NBA being a very like 3-point heavy league nowadays, I was looking at all-time leaders in 3 points made in a single season in Phoenix history. Can you tell me who that is?
Oh wow. Um,
He also led Phoenix in attempts as well
in a single season,
in a single season.
we've had some shooters, but the NBA is so different nowadays. It would be hard for me to think that anyone other than Booker has shot that many 3-pointers in a season because the year before Chris Paul got there, Devin Booker was going nuts. We sucked. So
Yeah,
I bet the 2018-2019 season, Devin Booker probably broke that record.
it was in fact the 2004 season, Quentin Richardson
Wow.
in the Mike D'Antoni offense with Steve Nash assisting.
Yeah, Q Rich.
He attempted like 700 that year
Wow.
and
Really?
made like 214 of them or something like that. Like,
Okay.
yeah, Q
Q
Rich.
Rich. I would have guessed Rajah Bell before Q Rich.
Drew, Drew.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Speaking of guys of that era, there's obviously been great point guards in Phoenix. You know, Nash, CP3, Jason
Kid.
Kidd.
Hmm.
Who is the all-time season or single season assists per game leader
In Phoenix history.
in Phoenix history?
I
He's
feel
a
like this is a trick question because the
he's
obvious
a
answer is
legend.
Steve Nash because there was seasons he was averaging, I think, like 11 assists a game. Like his MVP season, I think he was like 16 and 11. But that's the obvious answer.
CP3 also averaged double digits too.
He did. He did. I think this season he's like 9.8. He's close, but I don't I'm trying to think. We've had some great point guards. But the only ones I don't even know, Jason Kidd might have averaged double digits early in his career with us. It's so hard to say. But now that you said CP3, that's in my head because I think he did break some type of Phoenix record last season.
You want to
That's
tell you?
yeah, go ahead and tell me.
All right, so it's in this player's second year in the NBA. A Phoenix legend averaged 12.2 assists per game. Kelvin Johnson in the 1988-89 season.
12.2.
12.2 assists per game.
Wow.
He, in his career, averaged over double digit assists for Phoenix 4 different times. And that also doesn't count the 3 other times he averaged over 9 assists per game.
Wow. No, yeah. That wasn't even a name that came up. I was like KJ popped up, but I was like, he never averaged double digit assists, I don't think. But
Nice, dude. KJ was nice.
When people talk about all-time great Suns, KJ's
You think KJ,
top
you
five.
think Barkley, you
Steve
got it,
Nash.
Nash.
I mean, now you say Booker, like
Yeah, Booker's definitely got to be in that discussion.
But I mean, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah. I
had
mean, Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix.
Tom
definitely-
Chambers.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have some history. It sucks we've never won a title. That hurts.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, that hurts. We've had a lot of great teams. I think we're the winningest, like out of the big three sports, baseball, basketball, football. I think we're the winningest team without a championship.
I could see that.
Yeah. We had great years. The Nash era, the Barkley era, this era. We won a lot of games.
It's either you or Denver. I don't think Denver's ever won in the NBA. I think they won one in the ABA, but not the NBA.
Uh-huh. Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Nuggets are gonna be good. You know, we're going to that Christmas game.
I'm excited.
Hey, yeah. Nuggets. Hopefully everyone's healthy.
Yep.
Good matchup.
Yeah.
The last Nuggets game, not the last, but when we had Ricky Rubio, I was at the Nuggets game and I was like a row above the Suns bench. So I was like right behind the visitors bench. Ricky Rubio got fouled at half court for like a buzzer beater, and he went to free throw line and hit all three of them.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had some great games like at that arena.
Yeah, we toured it, but I've never been to a game there. So
They get rowdy, Denver fans.
yeah, and I've also never been to a Christmas game. So
Me neither. Yeah, this is
I'm
my first Christmas game.
super stoked.
Yo, big. I've watched NBA games on Christmas my whole life. Now I'm gonna be
Here,
there.
dude. Same here. I look forward to it every single year. And I assume we'll be probably pre-gaming at a bar watching other Christmas
For
games.
sure. I hope Suns and Four Guys there.
Yeah, dude, that.
Legend. That's
Sure.
crazy.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Man, appreciate having it, man. This was fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely do this again. Cheers,
For
bro.
sure. Oh yeah. Taco Bell.
Sarah the Baja. Alrighty.
All right, bro.